And so I was raised by video games and cartoons. So when I was a kid, I would always do voices, and I would do by myself, and I don't know why I never saw this done anywhere. No one told me to do this. I would just do impressions. I would watch the movie, and I'd be like, oh, I could sound like C-3PO, or I could sound like R2, or I could do Chewie, and I would go through all these movies just do them and have it sounds weird a little bit. It's like, so wait a minute. So you're in your room by yourself, and you are doing impressions by yourself, and you're talking to yourself. Yeah. That's what I did. And so, but I had no idea that it would lead to any kind of career, because I wanted to be an actor, but not specifically a voiceover actor, just an actor. And so I began in theater, and then it turned into studying it, and keeping up with that in high school and college, and majoring it, which turned into film, which turned into television, which then led to voiceover. I didn't seek voiceover out, even though I started doing impressions when I was young. And I love doing it. It's something that is deceptively easy, I would say. Because a lot of people come up to me and they say, I was at a con recently where the limo driver picks us up, and he's taking us to the event, and he goes, well, I've been told I've got a deep voice and that I should be a voiceover actor. I go, oh, well, nice to meet you. I think his name was Roger or something like that. And he goes, I'd love to wake up in my bathrobe and just have breakfast and do a couple of voiceovers and just rest all day. Is that what you think it is? He's like, I've been talking a long time. I got a great voice. I'm like, I've got hands. I should be a surgeon. It's different. It's like I'll put it to you this way. I've been around the Japanese language a lot for like 7 years. I hear it all the time. I don't speak any of it. It's the same thing. And so I have been. It's kind of like when you watch a baseball player and they're stacking those balls way out into the 300s, and the mezzanine, and they're hitting it way out there. That's like 10,000 hours of batting practice. You don't see that. When you go to a concert, you don't see the person like fumbling with the chords and stuff. It's because they've been practicing that song 100 times. You know what I mean? And so it's the same thing with voiceover. I have been in the booth over 10,000 hours. I've been behind a mic recording. So over 10,000 hours. That's a lot of hours. If you think how impatient you get when you wait in line for an hour for a ride, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're at a theme park, you want to get on a ride and you're in a roller coaster, you're like, oh my God, it's been 30 minutes. Take 30 minutes and multiply it 100,000 times. And that's where, so we've been practicing at it. And I'm sure there are things that I know there are things you guys can do. How many people made their costumes? Okay. Do you know what I could make on your costume? The button. That's it. How long did it take you to make that?
A couple months.
Months to make that. You know what I would do? I would take a couple minutes to buy it. That's not my skill. I don't know how to do that. It looks great. Looks fabulous. Looks very pro. I don't know how to do that. That's not my thing. Other things that are not my thing, touching spiders. Don't do it. I can kill a roach. I will punch a roach so fast. Even though they're like evolutionary marvels of our Earth, I will kill one very quickly. Squeeze out its mustard that's inside. The other roaches are like. And so I won't touch spiders. I can pet a dog. I'm really good at petting animals. Really good. I'm not so good. I'm pretty good about cat litter. I can deal with that. I scoot pretty fast, in and out. But yeah, I'm not a good fisherman. I get impatient. I get super impatient. If I throw that thing in there and it's got some good food on it, I want to fish on that thing. But the fish are like, I'm full. I can't handle that. I'm out. But I've spent a lot of time producing also. So I've been on stage, I've directed, I've written plays, I've produced plays, I've done that with film. I've written and produced film, I've directed it, I've been a cinematographer, I've been a photographer, I've been trying to think of all the odd jobs I've done. I've been a stilt walker, which is what led to doing Mr. Knickerbocker on Barney. I didn't audition for that. They called me up and said, do you want to be the first ever on-screen appearance of Mr. Knickerbocker on Barney? I was like, yeah, I grew up with Barney, let's do it. I have been a costumer. I've been a makeup person. I've done all of these jobs to find what I wanted to do. The minute I started doing costuming, all I had to do was make a rehearsal skirt. It's a perfect circle. My perfect circle was not perfect. I got a C on it. A C on making a circle. And so I knew that wasn't for me. But I had to go through these things. I had to get this education and these experiences, these trials by fire, because sometimes it wasn't in the classroom. Most of the time it was not in a bona fide classroom setting where I got a lot of this exposure to these things. It was because I was out of necessity. I had to have a director to do this project, but I needed to do it because I knew that no one saw it the way I saw it in my head. It's kind of like Tim Burton. We're weird. He has a weird vision for Alice in Wonderland. He's not going to go, hey, Michael Bay, I need you. He's not going to do that. He's going to do it. But that's not to say that the education in the classroom is not important. It's totally important because that's where you can make your mistakes and fail again and again and again, and it's totally okay. Because if you do it in the real world, you may get another shot, but typically it's one shot, you're out, you're done. I was recording on this huge video game this week, and I really wish I could tell you what it is. Big video game that's coming. Everyone plays it. I almost got fired from that job. Because when I showed up, I was possibly going to be running late from another voiceover session. And she even told me to my face, she goes, I almost fired you for this. And I was like, my God, see, but in a classroom setting, it's totally cool. Cool. You do. That's why I'm such a big proponent of like going to college and staying in school and all that kind of stuff. The people that, because you hear about all the time, you hear those stories about the guy that, for example, Mark Cuban, I think he totally went to school, but he's like, high school dropout, now he's worth $100 million, $2 billion and stuff. For every one of those, there's about 50 billion people that are not that drop out and struggle forever. But education is free. And you can get grants for college, scholarships, things like that. When I graduated high school, I told my mom, I go, Mama, and I was packing up my beans and my bandana and my bread, put it on a stick, throw it in. I'm like, I'm going to LA. And she goes, sup. She's Vietnamese. No, sup. And she goes, if you go to LA, you're going to go on your own. And I'm not helping you. You're done. You are on your own. Good luck. At 18. Why 17? I graduated high school at 17. And so she goes, but if you stay and you go to college, I'll take care of everything. I'll pay for college, all that good stuff. But if you go, that's it. And so, luckily, I did some gamma radiation testing on myself. And I overexposed myself to gamma radiation and became the Hulk. And she's like, that's even cooler. No, I decided to go to college, and I applied to all these colleges, and I went to SMU, which is a very good theater school in Texas. It's a private university. They audition 25,000 people, and they choose 22 every year. 22. And I was one of the 22. And so I went, and I did that. I'm so glad I did. I thought I knew everything. How many people, I'm going to ask the parents first, how many times have your kids said, Mom, I know that, but they don't really know that? Okay, I was like that all the time to everyone. Kids, how many of you said, God, I get it, I know, but you really didn't know, but you didn't want to say you didn't know? Okay, you need to get that stuff out of your system. And the best place to do that is in school! But I almost got kicked out of college because I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew more than these professors that were part of the Royal Shakespeare Company. I thought I knew more than these people. What? And I'm sitting there, yeah, I know more than you. Oh, really? So that wasn't the case. That's why I'm such a big proponent, because also with education, you can find out the things that you love to do and the things that you don't love to do, because they put you through the ringer on all that. Especially if you've got a parent who's like, I'm going to help you pay for a lot of it, I'm going to help you pay for all of it, which is awesome. That's great. That's a gift. And it was so cool. I'm so glad I did that, because when I moved to LA years later, I had people that went to SMU that helped me solely because I went to SMU and they did too. So that's something you wouldn't even think about. But you grow a lot there, and you figure out what you're going to do, and you set the template for how you're kind of going to be for life. And so that's where you do that. So please do that. And I say this, all of this, because that's what I'm thinking when someone says, I woke up today and I want to be a voice actor. Because it's more than that. It's more than that. And so I hope that you guys will do those things, or at least some of those things that I just suggested, and find out what you love to do. Because you're going to find it if you just educate yourself. And so I did that, and then I went to LA. I did a lot of work in Texas. I worked in Texas. I was an equity actor, which is the union for theater acting. But I had my own theater company, and it was too expensive to pay myself in my own company. When I was going to put the money right back in, the union was like, "Oh, you can't do that." I go, "I can't pay myself and then put the money back into myself? That's what I was going to do anyway." Like, "Oh, no, you can't do that." I'm like, "Well, I don't want to be equity then." So I quit being equity. And because we had a nonprofit theater company, we were trying to bring theater to areas that didn't have it and stuff. And so I did that, and then I worked and did voiceover and things like that. And then I went to LA, and I did great. It was awesome. I love doing LA. And so I'm still there. And so I was just there before this, literally right before this, recording. But it's a lot of fun. It's a great life. But again, it's not about the fame or anything like that. It's because I'm able to provide for family doing what I love. And that's what I would wish on you guys, unless it's to your goal in life is to kill me and take my life. Other than that, good luck to you. Do everything that you want to do. You can do what you want to do. So it's a lot of fun.